Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video and a very warm welcome to a very windy and potentially quite wet Keswick in the Lake District, more specifically Crow Park. Now I want to talk about why we come back to this spot quite so many times, and is it something that you could actually sort of use yourself, actually sort of using the ability to go back to the same place over and over again in different conditions, different time of the year, to get different types of shots. Now, today it's very much sort of fleeting light and stuff like that. If I just spin you around now, you'll see up on Skidder there's some absolutely stunning light just passing through. A few nice moody clouds as well. So I'm going to grab a quick shot of that now. But although it's incredibly windy at the moment, it means that everything's fast paced, everything's moving along really, really quickly, and it's very much a dynamic scene. And there's a sheep heading straight for me. Whether he'll turn up on the video, I don't know, but he's heading straight for me at the minute. Yeah, there's the ability to sort of know your location. So we've visited this place umpteen times. It's been fantastic every time we've been here. Different conditions, different things. We've been here in storms and caught essentially whirlwinds forming across the water. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'll pop a shot up now that I took on the last storm where we were here, and just the feel of everything just works so well. I really enjoy the shot, so much so I've actually sold a couple of these as prints, and I've actually got this myself as a print. I really do like it. But we're going to sort of have a bit of a wander around and have a talk about sort of why we find these sort of places as a sort of place that you can go to over and over again and get different shots, even though you're in the same location. So what is it that I love so much about this spot? Now, where we are, it's a 2-minute walk from the car park. It's not a massive hike or anything like that, but you've got these stunning views. You've got the Jaws of Borrowdale back there. Panning across, you've got Cat Bells and the Newlands Valley. And when the light hits these things, you can get some absolutely glorious, stunning even shots. You've got these lovely leading lines with, essentially, we're at low water at the moment, but we've had this quite high. And there's a gate here, which is known as the gate to nowhere, because basically, when the water's high enough, you basically see a gate and it just tails off into nothing. Now I'm going to face this way because the wind's coming straight from behind me. But you've got a nice moody cloud. You always tend to get a nice bit of mood coming through Borrowdale. Looking out over that way, so you've got Derwent Isle, which, when the light hits that, it looks beautiful. And I did a shot back in November 23 where we had some lovely light. I'll pop it up now. The mood that you can get from this place is absolutely stunning. And again, it's not all the same shot, even though it's the same scene. So you can really sort of play with it and work the scene from essentially the same spot. But because you're here, you're learning about what's there. What can you pick out as you're looking around? And you store that in your memory banks, come up in different conditions, and you can get different shots. That's the beauty of really learning a location. So you've got a location that you know well. You've got a bit of practice that you've been there a few times. You've essentially scouted out the location. You know what to expect when you're in the different areas. This then gives you the ammo to go out there and take all these different shots. Now, we have, at the moment, a break in the weather. Last night it was torrential, 45-mile-an-hour winds, but basically what that's done is put quite a few people off today, because this normally is quite a busy spot, but because we've had a bit of the weather, I mean, I will admit it's freezing at the minute. I've come without my gloves, which I'm kind of regretting, but it is absolutely freezing at the minute, so it's nice and quiet here, which means we can get a few different shots without too many people in. Normally, especially if you come up here at a weekend, we're actually on a weekday at the moment, there's a lot of people on the water, but because very windy, very cold, and the forecast of rain is imminent. It's put quite a few people off, which means this time we're not sort of dodging people, we're actually able to get shots in without people around. So again, that's another different sort of take on some of the scenes. Where we're walking to now, there's a nice little bit of woodland, and we're actually looking at a slightly different angle out towards the Borrowdale area, Cat Bells and those sort of well-known fells from here. And when we're done here, what we're probably going to do is wander down to Fry's Crag, which is a very well photographed spot and normally is very busy. We're hoping it's not going to be too bad, because there's a fantastic bench there that if you frame it right, you've got the bench, the trees around it looking straight out to Borrowdale, and if the mood plays nicely, it could come out quite well. But keep wandering down here, see what sort of shots we can get off towards the other side. Beauty about this at the minute though, it's slightly sheltered from the wind, so it does make it a little bit easier. So when you're out and about and you've got essentially fells all around you, playing with your focal length can help as well. I mean, I've got the 12-100 on today. I've been here with the 40-150 or the 1.4 teleconverter on, which roughly equates to a full frame 100-400, which seems to be quite an in thing. I did a video that I'll sort of link up there and drop a link in the description as well. Basically, I just stood at the top of Crow Park, spinning around with the lens. Some lovely shots. At the time there's some snow on the mountains as well, so that really helped with sort of picking those out. But yeah, you can do that, different focal lengths, different scenes that essentially are the same one, but because you're reframing it, completely different feel to it. Yeah, there's so much you can do, but because you've been to somewhere over and over again, you've got the idea in your head, you know what's there, you know what to expect and how to actually bring the best out of what you're actually seeing. And what we were gifted there were some nice little blobs of light. The foreground's slightly different because it's quite low water, and normally when we've been down here the water's quite a lot higher, so you've got a few more rocks to play with this foreground. There's nothing spectacular, but you can have a bit of a play with it, which has been quite nice. So I'm going to have a wander down now, head round to Fry's Crag. Like I say, I expect a few people to be around, but not as busy as it normally is, because it is very, very popular, especially with sort of people that are just visiting, the park in the car park, down past the lake and down to Fry's Crag. So it generally, you always end up queuing to get to the bench sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully it won't be quite that busy today, but quite nice to get back into the woodland bit and get out of the wind, because that is quite biting. Yes, we are sort of into the last throes of March. There has been some really quite nice warm weather. Today's not one of those days, but yeah, we are in the Lake District, which is one of our happy places, and essentially it's all part and parcel of it. So a few people heading up Cat Bells. Certainly with the state of the weather today, it's not something we're going to be considering, but yeah, we'll sort of gauge what the weather's doing over the next few days, because we're basically having a long weekend up here, and see what sort of things we can pick out. But let's get down to Fry's Crag, have a look what's there, and see if we can get that classic shot of the bench and a little bit of mood over Borrowdale in the background. So as you may be able to hear, and if it's a bit too much, apologies, it is still very windy, but we've made it down towards Fry's Crag. We've seen a few people down here, so we'll see what it's like down at the end, see if it's been busy enough to give us a, maybe someone sat on the bench looking out, or whether we sort of just get the clear bench. we'll see what happens. No idea what we'll get until we get down there, but it's a lovely spot. And okay, it is very, very busy. A lot of dog walkers around, but they tend to be more sort of down on the beach side of things. So we come a little bit higher up, get down there, and let's see if we can get a couple of shots. Looking out towards Borrowdale, we've seen a few little spots of rain sort of dotted around, but nothing really sort of coming to somewhere that we can get a shot of yet. But yeah, we'll keep looking. But let's go and get that shot down here now. So here we are down at Ftrack, as you can see. A couple sat on the bench, just giving a fantastic little shot, very silhouetted. Borrowdale's looking very, very pretty. A few shafts of light, and just see over there, just that hint of mist in the air. It's not real sort of thick mist, but it's enough to give a bit of definition and actually have a play with. So there's a little bit of light at the moment just over there playing on Glaramara, which if you can sort of play that, because Castle Crag itself is just sat in the foreground, and good to quickly grab a shot of that now before the light actually disappears. So, as you can see, it's quite a nice spot up there, and if you get the conditions just right, with maybe a couple of people sat on that bench, works brilliantly. But we're going to have a wander down now, head on back to the van. So hopefully this is sort of reiterated to you, sort of, if you've got a position to go to a place over and over again, can even be somewhere local that you can learn and sort of get used to what sort of things that you can sort of get from that area. So different types of conditions, different focal lengths, different crops even. Don't be afraid to actually play with the crop. It can change how a scene feels, and even though you stood almost in the same spot, it can change what sort of shots you get. Especially if you, like today, we've got changing conditions, the light has been fleeting, it's now found a big gap and it's quite harsh, so we can't sort of stop in shooting at the moment. But hopefully it's been useful for you to just sort of reiterate what you can do if you get to know a spot, and give you a lot more that you can play with, even from just a small wander. Like I say, we're sort of, what, a couple hundred yards from the van. You don't need to go a massive hike, you can get some lovely shots. But if it's been useful to you and you liked it, please do hit the thumbs up, it really helps out. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, free of charge, and you'll see more of this sort of stuff every week from me. But from a very windy Derwent Water in the Lake District. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.
Underground for so long, in the dark, I forgot how the sunlight feels. Hidden just out of reach, down below, waiting for time to reveal 100 new colors in me. Even if it takes 100,000 years to finally shine, unlike any other, something undiscovered, left to crystallize. Give it time, put it under pressure, hold it to the fire.